Hey everybody, this is Petey from the Spinner Rack, and today I'm going to do a review, but at the same time, I'm going to just talk about going to a comic book store. I went, I'll actually let you guys know where I'm at if you've heard it in our thing. I went to a comic book store in New Jersey. It was called Amazing Heroes on 1025A Stuyvesant Avenue in Union, New Jersey. Now this is, for me, was an old school comic store, right? Where you go in and you spend X amount of time and the store owner doesn't say anything to you. They just do what they're doing and you do what you're doing. I think the closest to when I was a kid buying comic books, and what was it, when my mother would take me to the comic store instead of the newsstand, we would she basically, the person would give her a seat and we would just run around there and pull as much stuff as we could with a little bit of money or a lot of money that my mother would give, and we take the books home. There wouldn't be too much interaction. The closest to that would be I guess the Time Machine that used to be on 14th Street. That store was another very good store where you basically, he would interact with you, but basically saying, hey, you know, it's going to be discounts, so just bring as much as you want, and we'll see what the discount is. So, and then he also allowed you to open up the plastic to look at it, so stuff like that. So it wasn't about commenting on your content, but kind of just getting you to buy, which is always good because when you had a ton of stuff and you get a discount. So there's two stores. I'm not sure what's going on with the Time Machine. Let me see. There's still a faction of the Time Machine in New York. Typing is bad. Let's see. Midtown Times Square, Carmine Street Comics. Not sure. Might have a new name. So just to let you guys know what I got when I went there. I went there for, which I've talked about it before, which was the thing, which I guess I'll do a review on this one here. But as much as I could get of that series, which I got issue 2, issue 4, and then issue 5, which is the series is not dissimilar to the series that was in the 80s that John Byrne did before John Byrne left, though. Not like not the when it became wrestling and such and stuff like that. Even though you see the ring here, him in the ring right here, right? This is written by Walter Mosley, art by Tom Reilly and Jordi Belair. So we'll get to that in a second. So I was able to get 4 of those. Surprisingly, I didn't read Sir Edward Grey yet. But this is a Mike Mignola, actually drawn by Mike Mignola. So something I'm looking forward to. Whenever I see a Rocketeer, I wind up getting it. So I got this one, which is The Great Race. And whenever I see Frank Cho and his Fight Girls, or anything he does, I kind of pick it up, right? You think that's it? Nope. So when I looked in there, I was like, my eyes got very wide, and I saw some Baxter, some Treasury editions. So I bought them. I bought Legion of Superheroes, and with this, it inspired me to get a couple other things through the mail. So I'll be doing some Legion of Superhero stuff soon. I got this other one that was there, and this one is more reprints. This is reprints, and DC was really going all in on these Treasury editions, giving you new stuff. they have this thing. I think it's Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl's Marriage is in here, and with a bunch of other random pinups. But this one is the Legion versus Mordru. I think it's was it Kurt Swan, Jim Shooter's story, Kurt Swan and Jack Abel doing the inks. And this one is Paul Levitt and Mike Grell, right? Some classic stuff. And lastly, something I've been wanting for the longest time. Marvel's 20th anniversary calendar from 1981. Now, I might have seen this in a comic store, but the odd thing for me is that this is clearly pre-Byrne doing Fantastic Four, but at this point, I can, coming into comics backwards, even though I know the Fantastic Four had a cartoon, kind of thought the Avengers were the key Marvel book, and looking at this with Mr. Fantastic right in the middle, and it's like, well, wait a second, like usually Spider-Man is in the middle, or the Avengers, Captain America's like way over here. The Fantastic Four kind of had the spotlight here. You got them right in the middle, muscular than when Byrne was doing them. Then his period, and not the mock necks yet, and the form-fitting outfits, right? So, but they look pretty dynamic here. So that's what my worry was with the Fantastic Four, since their costumes were very simple during the Kirby, created during the Kirby minimalisms outside of the thing. So I always worry about them not being as dynamic as characters with Iron Man or Spider-Man or even Captain America. So not doing it. You're not gonna get me to look through all these pages, but since I do have many chats about Byrne, maybe I'll just show that one if I can find it. Well, no, we got to give it for good measure. We got a Perez shot here, to salute the man, right? And this is right around when he had came back to the Avengers, right? And, we got the other man, Miller, on the Daredevil, Klaus. And I said I wasn't going to do it, but then I did it anyway. Can't find it. FF by Bill Sienkiewicz. They get the first page, which is great. They at least get some light, right? And I'll give you one last one, which is Byrne in the X-Men. I think he said on the Byrne board, this was his plan to bring the original X-Men back to the team. So, and they art corrected Wolverine's costume, right? So there we go. I don't know if I can do this review this way, but since I think I've only read, I read two of the Red Devil in the Blue Dress, and I think Crimson is Easy Rollins thing. There's a later one that I read. So there's like two of his Easy Rollins books that I read. So knowing that he interviewed Frank Miller, so maybe there was some interesting comics. Hearing him do the thing, it's like piqued my interest. But seeing him in the ring, it would bring up the book I am not pleased with. This, I know this is gonna turn some fans off. I'm not a fan of the Thing versus Champion. So seeing this cover, I knew it was a rematch between the Thing and the Champion, right? Can I do this? So in this part of the story, just to give you a brief overview, in the first issue, we have this looming character that's coming after the Thing. Well, we know it's going to come after the Thing, and then we have Thing with Alicia. So this is taking place earlier than the marriage period. It's possibly taking place during the burn run or something like that, or maybe, yeah, I guess it would have to be, right? So Ben is walking with Alicia. No, Alicia was with somebody else, and Ben gets jealous, so he breaks off. He gets upset, breaks some things, winds up getting captured, and then of course he breaks out of that, and he meets up with later in the story. He meets up with this kid and this female here, and I don't remember this issue was where they're at in their relationship. Yep, right. But the art is pretty nice. I don't know if you can see it from here. All right. So this is not going to work out as good as some of the other stuff I've done, if they even look any good to people, right? But the art is pretty decent. So he's taking on these two characters that are his friends, right? And oh yeah, so this girl are in there. This is a new love interest. So he's breaking off his jealousy of Alicia and this new guy. He winds up with this girl, right? And I was like, whoa, it's giving Ben a sex life. As I'm not always too keen on that because but it's there's a surprise when you get towards the end. So I'm not gonna give away everything, but the champion comes in and it's an all-out war, right? It's all-out war. He appears and the Thing doesn't hold back at all. They just have this big fight in the city, right? So, and the Thing just attacks and they're going at it. And then, of course, if you're going to attack the champion, he's like, it's going to oblige you. The Thing has an ace in the hole. He's got this glove that he's using to, oh God, it's not working out. See that glove right there on the bottom? Gives him some extra strength. Look at that. He's taking it to champion and he can use it to block, right? But champion's a master fighter. Does a nice takedown of the Thing, right? Ben is ready to keep on fighting, like we saw in that annual, and then his new girlfriend stabs champion in the head with something, right? And that takes him out. And of course, since they have the champion captured, he brings up that the Ben cheated. And he said, well, it was never a challenge. So, right. So it's a fun sort of story, right? So if you like this little bit that I gave you, and we have this thing where he asks her, Ben's new girlfriend, lady, dot, 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 what brings you here? She's on a blind date. So that might lead us to something else. right? And it goes cosmic for the next issues, right? So this is right around the stage, feels like the stage that maybe Walter Mosley is a burn reader, because it really feels like it's during that period with eternity and all that other stuff. So, but I haven't given away the ending of it yet. But yeah, I think you guys should check it out. And yeah, the art's nice. It's a fun story. I was kind of iffy on the romance, but it kind of works out. It's the kind of story, you know, I don't know. It's just a fun story. It's a fun story for Marvel, and but I was so surprised they're not doing it saying it's a limited series. It just ends at issue 6, and it hints that another thing series is happening. The thing is called Clobbering Time with the Steve Scroce, who did the Art of the Matrix. He also did Gambit, Wolverine. He did Doc Frankenstein. He's done, I think there's a mystical book he did. He said, We Stand on Guard for Thee. Many great things. The Ecto Kid with the Wachowski brothers, too. So that's the one that's coming out after that. So it's I think I have to get that. So I'm actually getting some Marvels, guys. It's been a long time since I got some Marvel comic books. So I'll be checking out this thing, and you know, it seems like they're going back to sort of the Thing series that Byrne did. Now, one of the hooks of the first 10 issues was for it to, since Thing is a reactor, try to really try to let Thing have some light, let him have a solo series where he's the catalyst to everything, and we get inside of his mind. And sometimes we'll have some guest stars, because I think the She-Hulk appears. Some heroes appear as villains, and no, they're mind control, so they're kind of be like villains in there. And then I think Alicia even got her own sort of soul story in there. So yeah, this is similar to that, and it'd be nice to see more, not doing Marvel 2-in-1 thing. As a kid, I did sort of like that, but as it went along, it became a lot of Thing versus other heroes, where he's fighting Power Man, South Sasquatch. They keep doing a more monstrous looking thing when the thing should already look like a monster. Stuff like that. Just kind of stay away from. But he deserves his own light. If you're gonna give, Torch has had a series in Strange Tales. The Thing was there. So maybe a solo series for him is always good. Not sort of the one that Dan Slott did, because that was more like the going to that comfort food, right? So this video has been a little bit longer. So what's to come next? We still have those histories things that we were supposed to do. We only done one so far. There are 2 other historical comic characters to do. I want to do some more stuff on if any of those other books you want me to review. I will hopefully by next month. I will be ordering a new light so I can do some regular videos, so you won't see me just putting it up here like this. But hopefully to do some Legion stuff, right? Since got some nice treasury editions, and it's interesting in the approach to because I was online with something on YouTube, just to end this here, where they were talking about the Legion, and a lot of people bring up the Byrne run to kind of cut the Legion, and abruptly, to say, to some people felt screwed over the Legion, when ultimately the Legion had 2 series going on that were uninterrupted after Crisis and uninterrupted after Man of Steel, right? Whereas all the Superman titles abruptly changed, or Batman titles abruptly changed, and the Legion still going strong. Same with the Titans. one of the few books that survived the crisis. Outside of crisis, both Titans and the Legion had to do pickup stories to sort of explain what happened, but that didn't stop the freight train. What stopped the freight train for the Titans was the actual, comic crash, and for the Legion, my opinion is 5 years later, right? Because it was kind of hard to see what happened to them after that. I think after 24 issues, they turned back to being young. They destroyed Earth, this, that, and the other. And it was just a dynamic that was kind of lost, which I think is it Tim and Mary Birnbaum? I think it's something like that. Burnham, I'm probably saying it wrong. They took over the series and they brought them back to being kids. But early on, the book was kind of cluttered. And it's very different from, you see this sort of art that's kind of, I guess it has a Kurt Swan sort of feel, but it's very open. You can see everything here, even this sort of thing. It's something where you get to see everything that's there and not try to, I think possibly Francis Manipool, the Secret Origin ones, is close to trying to get back to what the Legion was. But I think, what should have happened was Jim Lee do them, and but they gave it to Bendis, and Bendis was basically able to change the characters as they go. So this video has gotten longer than it should have been, I think, but that's what's to come. I'm giving you a little hint of it, and check your local comic book stores. Later, I'll have another mailbag with the thing that will lead to some more videos. Laters.